Well, this is Cut Hill, and it's really quite inhospitable up here. And then just over there, that's Fur Tor. So we'll head over to Fur Tor, and then we'll go down and we'll see what it's like lower down in the valley. There's a load of diggers over there. I don't know what they're doing over there. Right, well, that's the diggers. Apparently there's some signs over there. It's something to do with peat restoration. Anyway, this is Fur Tor. And Fur Tor is probably the most remote tor out here, because your Great Mist Tor, which is probably that one through there, I'm thinking, is about 7 kilometers away, because that's where we were 2 weeks ago. And then obviously you've got Little Kneeset and Great Kneeset over there, but they're kind of not that far away from roads and, well, you know, tracks, military tracks and such. There are spots up here. There's a spot in there. It's quite breezy. I'm not going to stop up here, but we'll have a little wander around, because it's quite a big little tour. Quite a big little tour. And then we'll head down. We'll head down towards, well, we won't go towards Little Kneeset, but we'll head down and see whether it's less severe down there. Otherwise, I think we'll go to Little Kneeset. We don't have to go over Great Kneeset, we could go straight through there. And there's a spot over there. There wouldn't be any need to go to Great Kneeset today. Obviously there's somewhere at the foot of Lint's Tor, but that's, I'm very sure we'll find something that's not as far as Lint's Tor. There's that spot, like I said, kind of near Kneeset nose area, and that should be quite sheltered there. So anyway, we'll have a look up here first. Can't remember where I camped. I think I camped over there sometime last time, because I think we're coming to the, I've only ever camped up here once. I was going to camp up here this time, but not with this wind. But it's quite a few tours up here, quite a few rocks and everything. Oh, there's a spot there as well. You know, there's definitely spots up here when it's not blowing a gale. Just got to look around the different tours and things, you know, the different rocks. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind this rock here, phone home, see how Mum and Dad are, and then, because I don't think there'll be a signal down there. Oh, get out of this wind for a moment as well. Yeah, this is a good place to stop. So let's drop some hankies there. Okay, I think this is out of the wind here. Oh. So yeah, so this is Fur Tor up here. So Yes Tor would be way in the distance. So Yes Tor might be that bump in the shadow in the distance. So that's the highest Tor. Yes Tor. Yes Tor is higher than this, but Fur Tor is probably, I think, the second highest Tor on Dartmoor, but I would say that it's the most remote, because I think everything else you can get to, you know, relatively easily. It is, I think it is more difficult to get to out here. I heard someone mention that Great Neset. I would say it's more remote here. Okay, it's just coming up to 3. Oh, I can't really see them now. There's a couple of Dartmoor ponies there that we just walked past. It's cooling off a bit now. It's definitely cooler. I'm looking, there's a stone down there, and there's a flat area there. I've been there like once, I think once. And of course it's quite close to the water. So we'll go and have a look down there, see what it's like. I can't tell whether it's going to be windy down there. At the moment it's quite breezy, but it's, now that we've come down from up there, it's not quite so bad. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe the hill here is kind of, you know, shielding it a bit. If it's a bit too breezy, then we'll go that way, but I'd like to stay down there. It's supposed to ease as the evening goes as well, so it's not going to get worse. So whatever it is down there, when we get down there, if you maybe wait just like 10 minutes, just see what it's like, it won't get any worse than that. It's supposed to start easing from 7 or 8 o'clock. So as usual though, it's been a very, very tussocky day today. We've been going very, very slowly today. Even down here, it's very open. This is the problem. You know, there's probably you could probably go there, although it's a little bit more slopey than I was remembering, but it is quite breezy. I mean, it is supposed to ease, and I'm sure the cricket is more than up to this, because it's not blowing me off my feet. So it's probably only about, you know, what, 20 miles an hour. I mean, it's not that windy. You know, if I had to pitch there, then I would, it would be fine. But I think, you know, as I know somewhere else that should be more sheltered, plus it's in the direction that we're going, then it kind of makes more sense to do that. The only thing is, we need to try to cross this stream. I probably won't go up to E. You can probably cross up there, but I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm just, my feet are already wet. I think I'm just going to wade. I think I'm just going to wade across there. Okay, well that's Fur Tor behind us in the cloud. At least we've got some sun here. So Little Neset is up there, and we're going to go the other side, I think, of this hill in front of us. So we're just going around, just sort of contouring around Little Neset, and hopefully that hill over there we don't have to go up, so we won't. Basically we'll stay as level as we can. There's a trail of sorts, although here it seems to pick your trail here. We'll probably lose it. Oh, I think we lost it years ago. We'll probably lose it the other side, because I think there's going to be a little stream here. So this might be the stream the other side of Little Niset. There's some ponies over there. I don't know if we might have to just wade across this one as well. There's probably somewhere, if we can get to those stones there. I'm just going to wade across. I think my shoes and feet are already wet. It's not worth it's a little bit of a step down, that's the only thing there. And it might be quite deep, that bit there. I can't even see the bottom. I reckon that's a ford as close as we're going to get. It looks a bit deep there, but not too bad. We'll go through there. Or the only problem with that is it's quite high. Well, this has been an interesting walk of navigational errors, to be honest with you. Sandy, you might recognise this. So Fur Tor is that big lump over there. Little Niset is that little bit in the sun, and we went round that. And then I looked at my phone just to double check which way to go, and I think the compass was off, because it took me in that direction, not in that direction, over this hill. So I started walking, and then after probably, I don't know, 20 minutes, I thought, okay, let's just double check where we're going. And immediately I realized that we were going basically west. We should have been going east. Sorry, we should have been going north, because this should be effectively north. So I should have remembered that I don't know what it is with Samsung, but I've noticed with the Samsung that the compass on it goes out of whack often, easily, and I have to calibrate it. It's easy to calibrate it because you kind of do that with it, but of course, unless you even know it's off, you know, maybe you could tell, which to be fair I probably should have done, or you just do that, as I think I probably should, and I try to every time that you look at it, and it would have pointed me in the right direction, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, we're coming through here now, because we're further over. I wasn't going to go all the way back, so we're further over than we should have been. So I kind of came up here, and then as I was coming through here, I I recognise this. But anyway, camp shouldn't be too far. Hopefully. We can see Fur Tor, and it's really, camp should be, and I'm just hoping that there's no one else there, because I've seen a few groups out. If there are people there, then we'll have to go to the other side of, you know, Old Faithful as it were, the other side of Fur Tor, and hope there's no one down there. But anyway, once we get around here, hopefully we will be able to see. I did ford that water, by the way, because it's so boggy here that, you know, even if I step across, my feet are in so much water anyway that it's really just, it's almost pointless specifically trying to keep your feet dry by stepping across water, because, you know, brooks and things, because it's just so wet here in most places. So we'll just get through here. Obviously, in fact, we could do, because yeah, I'll still try, because obviously we could stay on this path on here, and it would effectively take us to where I camped with Sandy, you know, my usual spot, my first spot on the last trip. Kind of getting a bit of an Old Faithful spot at the moment, but I'd like to try this other spot down here, because if I can do that, then I'll figure out, because my route for tomorrow now is probably changed, because we've come a little bit further over, because I was going to do Little Knee Set and Great Knee Set. Well, obviously we've gone past them, and they're not really tours anyway, and we can do them another time. I've done them before. I was trying to keep this walk simple. Tony said keep this walk simple, and we ended up complicating the out of it. Okay, well, we finally made camp, so it's 20 to 5. You know, given that we cut a corner and we were only, well, my original plan was about 10 kilometers. I think in the end we did 13, so we ended up doing even more than, you know, than originally planned, and we got going just before 11. So if we got going about 11 and it's coming up to 5, you know, it's what, 6 hours, just under 6 hours to do 13 kilometers. It's probably, to be fair, it's probably nearer 5.5 hours to do 13. So anyway, the wind is coming directly towards me. It could change and come down this valley here, or it could come up this valley here. I'm kind of thinking that the only direction it probably won't hopefully come through is down this valley here, because that's southeast. Sort of east is that way, and then that's sort of southeast, south is there, and we just want to keep away from south and southwest. So I'm kind of thinking, so I put a pole down there, so that's where I want the back of it, and that's kind of where I want the front of it, kind of going through there, so it's even slightly away, you know, from this valley here. But even down here it's still breezy, but it is just breezy. It's not blowing a gale like it was, you know, at the bottom of Fur Tor. That was really quite windy. And as I mentioned, the wind is supposed to drop off tonight from about 7 o'clock. So I don't think there'll be very much overnight wind, and then it picks up sort of like late morning tomorrow. There we are. So I've got the door a little bit higher. I made the pole longer, and then you bring these in. If you want it lower, then you kind of then you bring these to the left and to the right. This Omni pole, it's nice and light, and I think it's good for sheltered spots, probably very good for sheltered spots, but I personally would be using something thicker than this. It's flexing quite a bit. I would prefer that it didn't flex so much, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my walking pole next to it to give it some rigidity, and then it will be fine. All right, if the Cricket had the clips in the corners, then you probably would get a little bit more of a bathtub-esque floor. But because the line goes straight outside, then it's obviously quite low to the ground, but it is still raised up, you know, at least the width of the line lock. To be fair, it's not really that bad. I mean, you know, clearly that's the bathtub corner there. You could put something in if you really, you know, if you really wanted. But I mean, you know, it does raise it up a little. I don't think it's really too much to worry about. Just be cautious if it's, you know, very wet. But if you've got the Solamid XL, then you would be able to clip it up, and then I think you would have a more effective bathtub. Well, we're very cozy in camp. It's just gone 6 and there's nobody around, so hopefully we have tonight's camp, you know, alone. I don't think anyone's going to be turning up here. I would be surprised, especially given it's gone 6. Right, this is the last Christmas dinner. So there's some roast potato in there with water. And I really should have brought the bigger bowl, shouldn't I? You're going to need a bigger bowl. And then I've put the turkey in. I put a little bit of extra veggie in. What I've done is I'm going to do the turkey kind of first and really get the turkey going, and then I'll put the potato in, put the roasters in, because the roasters, they came up very quickly and efficiently. So I think I'm gonna concentrate on the turkey, and then when it's boiling, I'll let it come to boil. Then when it's boiling, I'll add this in and hope that it doesn't spill over the top, and that should maybe hopefully be okay this time. It might need 2 lots of heat as well. But anyway, we'll see. But we're very it's so cozy. It's so cozy in here. The sun is out now finally, but I really don't see the point in going outside. It's quite cool. I mean, I'm in the sleeping bag and I'm comfortable. I wouldn't say I'm warm. I'm not cold either, but I'm comfortable. So I really don't see the point in going outside. Yeah, so anyway, that's my dinner. I think we're avoiding the worst of the wind here. Well, the turkey dinner is a little bit better today than last time. I think it would be better if it had been minced rather than, you know, chopped. So I think this coming Christmas I might try and mince the chicken, or the turkey I mean. We're going to carry on eating that. We're watching Alien. Good film to be watching in the middle of nowhere.